everybody, and I just want to start the video off by saying thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Making my channel has been a really big part of my New Year resolution, so it's really awesome to see that 100 of you actually want to see what I post. And I've been reading the comments and I've got a couple people asking about bitless, how they transition to bitless, or sometimes they say their coaches don't like bitless. So I just wanted to show you some of my favorite bitless bridles and how to fit them to your horse and how to know where it is and everything like that. So these are just a few of the bridles that I'm going to be showing you how to use today. So these are just 3 types of hackamores. This is the flower hackamore. So as you can see, it kind of looks like a bit of a flower, and you can attach the reins to the longest, medium, or small. And then you can also move the nose band as well as the chin strap. So it's very adjustable. It's really nice if you just want a little bit of a hackamore, you don't want a lot. Maybe your horse is a little more woe than go. And then we also have, this is the one that I compete in. This is a really nice hackamore that I got, and right here, the bridle actually slides. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't like hackamores because they go into my horse's eyes. I absolutely agree. This one slides, so when I pull on the reins, it slides. It's not going to slide into her eye. As well as, I got a hackamore bridle, which means it has a double throat latch, so it's going to help prevent it from going into her eyes. And lastly, this is the one that I train my horses in, and sometimes my one horse has a really sensitive chin and he'll get rubs, so I put a fuzzy on his. And this is just your classic hackamore, just one place to attach, one place for the bridle, one place for the nose band, and one place to hook your reins to. They're not bad at all. I'll even show in this one as well. So those are 3 types of hackamores. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to fit a hackamore. And we have waisted here to demonstrate. So I'm just going to have my hand around her cheek, and I'm going to have it by the brow band, and I'm just going to put it on like any other halter or bridle. I'm going to slip it up over her nose, 1 ear, 2 ear, the usual stuff. Make sure nothing is pinching her, or nothing's in her eyes. So now that I have that, it's on her, what I want to look for is horses have a really squishy spot right here in their nose. And I don't want my hackamore to be on that, because if I pull on it, I don't want it to hurt her squishy spot. I don't actually know what it's called. But then I don't want it any higher than this bone right here, because then it's up on her face and it doesn't look well, and it won't work to the best. And usually something that I'll do when I have a hackamore is I'll make sure that the whole of my hackamore is almost at the end of her little cheeks. I know all horses have a different length of smile, you could say, but that's usually a good indication that it's in the right place. And then I want to be able to get at least 2 fingers underneath her chin to make sure that she can still lick and chew when I pull back. So now I'm just going to do up the throat latch like any other bridle. I usually ride with mine quite loose, but that's just a personal preference. So this is one that has a double throat latch. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit tighter to make sure the bridle doesn't go near her eye. And I'm going to make sure of that by pulling on the hackamore, and it doesn't go near her eye. So, and I usually tuck these in when I'm about to ride, but I just wanted to show you guys, so that's how you fit a hackamore. Okay, so now these are the side pulls. So we have the Western side pull that is just, I personally use the thin line bitless fusion noseband attacher. And I can just put that on, right here I have my show Western headstall. And it's really nice. All I do is where the bit goes, I just put it through the hoops here, and then I have my rings for riding, and it just adjusts under the chin just like a normal English noseband would do. And then I have it here, the same thing, except on my English jumper bridle. So same thing, just goes where the bit is, attaches or adjusts under the chin, and then hoops for riding. And then the last one is, it's a side pull as well, but this is one that has the 3rd throat latch, or the 2nd throat latch, to make sure it doesn't go into their eyes. But other than that, it's the same thing, but this one you can't take off and put onto another bridle. This is one bridle piece. But after you put it on, you just hook it to the rings, and then you'd be ready to ride. So I'm going to show you how to put on this one first. So same thing, I'm going to cup my hand around her cheek and just slide it up, 1 ear, 2 ear, forelock, and then same thing as the hackamore. I want to make sure it's not on her squishy spot and it's not above her bump right here. It's right here where it's nice and firm and I'm not going to hurt her. So this one looks good. I can get my 2 fingers, and the thing I want is when I pull, see how it moves a little bit on her face? That's okay. If I were to pull and it were to go like that, that means that either your bridle is too long or your noseband is too loose. So if I go like this, if I loosen this up, to let's just say here, it's in the correct spot, but when I pull back, it goes up too far and it makes these very unattractive bubbles on the side of her head. So I know that's not right. So I know in that case, I have to tighten my noseband part. So the same thing, I have little keepers down here that I tuck the extra leather in, do out my throat latch, and then that's it. Hook your reins and you're ready to ride. So that's how you do just the classic side pull. And then this biothane double throat latch. So I want to make sure that the throat latches, they're both undone. Oops, good girl. Good. So same thing, I'm just gonna put it up over her nose. 1 ear, 2 ear. I'm gonna make sure it's not too tight on her, so it's a little tight on her ear up here. Good girl. So this one, it's a little low. It's very close to that squishy spot. So I'm gonna do it up an extra hole. So there, now it's above her squishy spot, but it's not too far up on her face. And this is pretty good. I'm gonna see how it looks one looser. So I've gotten it 1 hole looser. I'm gonna tuck it in, and then I'm gonna do the pullback test, if you could call it that. So I'm gonna pull back, and it doesn't make those huge bubbles on the side of her face. So I know that's good. So now I'm gonna do up the throat latch. And again, I ride with my throat latch quite loose, but that's just my preference. And then what I'm gonna do is, say this was really, really close to her eye, it was right up here. I'm gonna take the double throat latch, and I'm gonna pull it down. And I'm gonna make it about, I just wanna make it tight enough that it's not in her eye. I don't want this to be super tight because I still want her to be able to move her jawbone. So that looks good, it's not in her eyes. I can still pull back. So that's all good. So that's how you would fit the double throat latch side pull bridle. And then last but not least, this is a Bozo or a Bozo or a Bozel. And this is another form of bitless bridle, and it works by kind of like the Hackmore with the leverage. But I don't like to start horses in this because it works really well if you want to neck rein or teach your horse to neck rein. But when you're first teaching a horse to ride, sometimes the cues can get muffled a little if they're just learning how to ride bitless. So this is the Bozo, and we're going to start by putting the reins over her head because this one has built-in reins that you can't undo because there's no clips or anything. So I'm going to put the reins over her head, and then just like with the other ones, slide the noseband on, and 1 ear, 2 ear. And as you can see, this one doesn't have a throat latch, and it's because it's more of a Western bridle look. Some of them don't have throat latches. Usually in the English ring, they won't allow these bridles, so that's why I don't ride in them particularly. But I'll still occasionally ride in the Western ring with bridles like this. So with this one, you don't really need to fit it too much. You just gotta make sure it's not on the soft spot and it's not too far up. And as you can see, when I have no pressure, it's really far up on her nose. But then when I apply pressure, it slides down. So sometimes they can be a little deceiving and you're like, oh, that's really high, and then you lower it, but then when you apply pressure to ride, then it will lower even more. But yeah, so this is another type of Bozo, bitless bridle. Okay, so I just wanted to say I'm not against bits. I do ride in bits for competition and at home as well. And these are 2 of the bits I'll use, just an egg butt level 1 miler and a egg butt French link with a copper roller. That's what I found that my horses like, and that's what I ride in. And I just wanted to say that I'm not against bits, I'm not against bitless, I ride in both. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.